What's up, everybody? Jersey here from windowcleaner.com and, of course, WCR Nation. And it is Wednesday, hump day, and we are here with Johnny B. What's up, man?
How we doing? Happy window cleaning Wednesday. I'm gonna
One
point
step
it.
closer to the weekend. It's great. Actually, one step closer to spring. We were just talking about how close we are to things cracking off. I want to know from you, if you're in the comments, please tell me what your temperatures are and where you're at. Right now, I think we are going to be in the 70s and 80s this week, and I'm in North Carolina, so we're getting there, man. Spring is coming.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We're getting rain coming, I think, a little bit later this week, and we're looking at like mid 50s, going up to 60-ish. So we're getting there.
Nice. We'll be there eventually. We'll be there eventually. Just unfortunately, this year seems to be taking a little bit longer. So,
Yeah.
what's up to Damien, by the way? All around window washing is here. I love that picture, by the way. What's up, man?
That is great.
But today we're actually talking about branding. And a lot of times window cleaners kind of don't think they have a brand, right? We're never going to be the McDonald's. We're not going to be the thing where every human over a certain age knows what we are, because obviously that's not our target market. But we want to be people that recognize us. We want to be able to be people who see our trucks and remember it and kind of catch it. And there's one thing that people do, unfortunately, is some brands suck. And I get it all the time where people send us stuff and they'll be like, hey, man, look over this. What do you think? And it is absolutely the worst like branding of anything I've ever seen. And that's what we're talking about today. Johnny B, you have some kind of insight on the branding stuff, because you've seen a lot of businesses that have bought through us for the past. What makes like a good brand or company versus what are like instant red flags for you? And this doesn't have to be window cleaning, but just in general.
Yeah, I think it's always easiest, at least for me, right off the bat, to note bad before good. I don't know,
Yeah.
because like we spoke about websites, and I think this like kind of is along the same lines of that, where like too much clutter with whatever you're looking at, whether it's like a piece of marketing or anything like that. I feel like providing a little too, like, you want to provide what you do and everything like that, but you don't want to
Yeah.
make people read a paragraph, whether this goes for your like truck wrap or anything like that. You just want people to see what it is. A number is good, just the
They have to
basics.
they have to be intrigued. You have to be
Mhm.
intrigued. Like, it has to be enough information to instantly tell them and trigger something if they're interested, but you don't have to tell them everything. No one cares that you use ultra high modulus carbon fiber poles and you're using your only specific, like, that part's down the road if they really want to know, but that's not what you lead with. Sometimes people tend to put their brand around something that doesn't much make sense. And the other thing that I've seen is people who name their companies something extremely generic, and then they have an extremely generic logo, and then their website, when you get on there, they're like, make your family happy, and that's what it is. And it's like, by the time I got 5 minutes in before I figure out what the heck you do, it's not clear cut, and it's not intriguing.
Yeah. I think, especially, I guess it depends on, if you're working with a group of people. I think if you're by yourself, it's a little bit like you are your brand. You
Yeah.
can speak for your company and, show that you provide good work. Listing equipment, I don't think it's necessary. People will see it and think it's cool because it looks cool regardless. So, I think people get intrigued by seeing how good you work while you're working, if they end up seeing that at all. But your work speaks for yourself, I think.
And that's the branding too. I always talk about, if you're going to brand, you can work up to a perfect brand, but you want to have logoed and lettered clothing. You want to have, signage on your trucks. You want your business cards to match the same theme as the truck wrap, and the truck wrap to match
Yeah.
the same theme as your envelopes, and like everything across the board, where I know we're still in a small industry, but you can hand somebody something and they instantly understand professionalism and that you're the best value just by what it looks like. And that's what you're talking
Yeah.
about equipment. I've sold jobs where you show up at a place and they look at your equipment. They're like, oh yeah, as soon as I saw your truck, like, I knew this was it. Well, they have to get there. They still have to be intrigued enough to call you to find out that you have the best stuff. So It's branding is intrigue and it gets you there. It's not necessarily to be remembered across every human.
Yeah, and that's super important. I think, like, people will, I guess, overthink things
Yeah,
as far as branding,
100%.
and just try and go the extra mile, and that ends up setting them back a little bit because it's like you spend a little too much time. Maybe that goes a little bit more into like time management and stuff like that. But I think to not overthink it is really important. As long as everything is uniform and kind of like, oh, this looks like the same kind of
Yeah,
like the website theme, the
yeah,
truck looks similar, even if you don't have a wrap, but if you have a magnet or something like that. I don't know.
yeah. I always look at like a brand is just like a company. Look at the company that you're competing against. You always think it's the guy writing down the bid on a napkin, right? It's the guy that shows up and he's coughing into his hand as he goes to shake your hand, and he's just doing it for beer money. It's like that guy doesn't have a brand. That guy has got no value to that company. It only is based on price. You create a company with a brand, and that brand speaks for you and your company. It allows people to kind of be more comfortable with it. So brands are super, super important, and there's a big difference between a good one and a bad one. That's for sure. Yeah. Damien just said definitely be readable and legible. That's exactly it. Simple is what makes sense when it comes to wraps. I don't write a book, just write window cleaning. I know you do more than window cleaning, but I'll give you a great example. One of my good friends, his company's name is Windows Only, and he does 50% pressure washing. So, like,
Mm,
even if you have a company like that, that's his name. It's been his name forever. But it doesn't mean people don't have you do the services that you didn't list. It just happens to be that they have to be intrigued to call you and then find out everything else that you do. So,
yeah, that's fun. And plus, you don't want anybody rear-ending you on the road trying to read your text,
yeah. Well, it's like a billboard, man. I don't know how many billboards you've seen that are these giant paragraphs, and to fit it all on there, it's super small, and it's like no one is driving by at 65 miles an hour. Like, oh, let me just grab that website. Like,
Yeah.
if they don't see that website, or like I put a number that isn't a phonic number, and it's like, oh, just call 866-183-2484. Like, no one is reading that, and no, you have not gotten one call off of that. So some of these things you just got to understand that simple is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing works better than like a billboard with a cheeseburger. Like that's
Yeah.
it. Cheeseburger and the M, and that is probably the best selling billboard because no one has to read anything. Visually, you understand it. It's simple. They have chicken nuggets and soda, but like it just has a picture of a cheeseburger. It just gets you intrigued.
So you're saying make your slogan "ba da ba ba ba"? I'm washing it.
Yes, yeah, but just an extra bot in there so you don't get hit for copyright infringement. But yeah,
Like, yeah,
do you ever
that's
see
like,
the thing where Vanilla Ice explained how he
yes,
didn't copy? It's like
yeah, it's
ours
like,
goes da 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 da. There's an
yeah,
extra one in there.
and it works,
Yeah, I was
like,
just gonna say, well,
okay,
sometimes it
gotta
is what
love
it
it
is.
though.
I think in our industry we're pretty safe. There's like clear view. I would love to know how many clear views there are. Not that if your name of your company is Clearview, it's bad. It's just a very common one. No one
Yeah.
is copyright infringing because we're local business.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of words that can be used with You see shine or
Yeah.
bright, or and it's not to disparage anybody who chooses those or anything like that, because it can work out. It's just fun seeing and looking at the industry and just seeing what people choose.
Heck yeah. And it is pretty much spring. It actually technically calendarically is spring. So if you guys need any supplies, that's what we're here for. Johnny B, somebody here is watching. I know it who wants a new rep that's personally their own that can keep in their back pocket. How do people get a hold of you? What's your contact information? How does somebody buy from you?
Yeah, thanks a lot. You can reach out to me. My number is 862-312-2024. Call me, text me. All of our info is on the website. I have a boar's hair mustache, so I'm a window cleaner through and through, clearly.
Right.
So,
That's right.
you know,
I didn't think of that yet, and I'm surprised nobody said that. I'm a little surprised. It's better than having a hybrid, though. Where those ones get a little
exactly.
itchy. But
It does. The
um,
nylon tends to, yeah.
Yeah. But if you guys are ordering directly from the site, please let us put your orders in. That's what we do. It's really nice to have somebody like Johnny B on your side in case you have questions. If you're comparing products, if you're like, hey, I got these questions on these things, it's really, really nice. And it costs you nothing extra to have one of us as your rep. So definitely do it. Let us know what we can do for you. And we do this every day at 2 o'clock East Coast time. So if you're here tomorrow, all you need to do is go ahead and let us know you're here tomorrow. Check in, say hi, say what's up, and we will see you again then.
See ya.